Good morning, friends. Welcome to another video. Thought I would do a little vlog today, maybe tomorrow, because I feel like it's gonna be fun. It is about 5 a.m. on Sunday, and today is the day of the Noosa Triathlon. And we are competing as a team, which means instead of one person doing the swim, bike, run, it's like one person does each. So Leo is going to do the swim, I'm going to do the bike, and then my little brother is going to do the run. And I'm excited, but I went out last night and I had a couple of cocktails. Probably not the wisest, so I am quite dehydrated today, just a little bit tired, so. This is the fit. Just my Lululemon shorts, the Selena Jane bra, Prada sunnies. I've got my eye drops because my allergic little eyes are just not having a good time. But we're gonna head up. It's about a 2-hour drive. It's gonna be great. So this is the haul. I have like my tri-suit and water bottles to fill up, some gels, lollies, snacks, sunscreen, and my book because there's a lot of waiting around. I'm gonna take some grapes, yogurt, and like this jelly thing, Powerades, and I'm just having Nutri-Grain because obviously it's Iron Man food. We made it to the Sunshine Coast. We are just walking to the shuttle bus. We got these cute little hats and we got these little cakes. That's my pleb brother Jake, and that's Leo. Let's get it. How do you feel?
Good.
You excited?
Yes.
Let's get it. We had a bit of a flat tire debacle, but we found a mechanic and got it sorted. So Leo's already started, he's already swimming as we speak. It's such a nice day, it's so hot though. And so I'm literally just waiting probably like another 20 minutes until he'll be done. And then it's my go, relay time. I'm doing the bike. Let's get it. Done. Well, us two are. My brother he just went for the run. And I was fully expecting to like walk along and like cheer him. But I really underestimated myself. I shouldn't have, because I've never in my life, no thank you, I will not eat. I have never in my life cycled 40 kilometers. Today was the first time I ever did that. It was quite challenging. My hamstrings are cooked, and by cooked I mean very, very, very sore. I can't really move them. I actually feel like it's kind of like a bad pain. Like I don't know if I like pulled my hamstring or something, but and I'm shaking a little bit. I had pins and needles. But other than that, it was actually like a really nice ride. It was really scenic and like beautiful, and it was a really good like track. Like some of the hills were insane, but like the downhills were really good. Like went zoom. I did it, so my goal was to do it in around 2 hours, and I did it in 1 hour and 40 minutes with all those hills. So I'm really, really happy. Very impressed with myself. How did you go?
Really good. 26:46. Nice swim.
For a swim. He went zoom. And it's quite warm. It's a really pretty day. My mum's out there watching my brother. And like, honestly, because there's like a transition. So when I get off the bike, I have to like run with my bike to like the point where my brother is. So he starts running, and I started running and I felt like my legs just wouldn't work. So I like sort of fell down awkwardly, and I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, there's just like, my legs are just like not really cooperating, and they're like really painful. Like sort of my glute down to my hamstring, but really just on my left leg. But other than that, I feel great.
The guillotine and the prancing pestilence.
All right, Dave, real quick. Let's put some music. Let's.
Oh, that's nice. Ooh! Sprinkler.
Here we go.
Such a cute location. We just got back to where the car was. It was an ordeal. Basically, because it's such a massive event where there's so many people, you have to get like shuttle buses. So we had to park like kilometers away, get a shuttle bus. But like we had the bike, so Leo had to ride the bike back, and we got the shuttle bus. It was a dilemma, and like, to be honest, I was a bit disappointed with so we just had to constantly walk around everywhere. There was no signage, but there were just all these officials being like, no, you can't walk in here, you have to walk all the way around. And it was so huge, and there were so many people. Just looking at the sushi, I just got some sushi. And like there wasn't adequate like litter disposal, like rubbish, there was just like trash everywhere. and like it just wasn't a very good setup. I think the space was way too small for like the scale of the event. But the Gold Coast Triathlon and the Moreton Bay Triathlon were like 10 out of 10, and this I would honestly give like a 3 out of 10. Like it was so stressful having a flat tire and just being like trying to locate a mechanic or someone that can help me, which usually always provided, and they didn't have.
People didn't help.
Yeah, they
It's
were
like, oh, hey,
really,
can you
really
tell us where the
unhelpful, and they
mechanic
were.
is? They're like, oh, there might be one there.
They're like, no, you can't come in here. And my mum was like trying to get in, like give me some ice because of my leg. Like I think I pulled my hamstring low-key. And they were just so unhelpful, and like we couldn't really get a good view of like the finish line. And like the actual track of the bike at least was like so difficult. Like it was so hilly. The first part of it I was like just going up this really windy mountain, and I was going so slowly because it was so difficult. But yeah, it was a good experience. To be honest, I don't think we'll do it again, but like I'm really happy that we did it. How do you feel? You did such a good job. He was so fast. His swim was like 22 minutes or something crazy. 24, 46. Crazy. My bike was 1 hour 40, and Jake's run was, did he get sub an hour?
Sure.
Probably not. Just over, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely went over.
Okay. Anyway, we are headed home. I feel disgusting. I feel like I'm covered in sweat. You know, like the gritty, when sweat gets gritty. Anyway, we picked up some sushi. Kind of feel a bit sick, but it was a great success. I do have to go into uni and do some very quick work, but I do have to go into uni. And honestly, I just want to lie on my couch. Have a shower first, lie on my couch. But that's the update. It was good. It was good fun. The windburn of my lips is crazy. It hurts so badly. The other thing as well is I tried gels, like, what are they called? Like energy gels? I don't know. Basically they're like little sachets of like thick glucose. Basically they have like 400 calories in them, and you're supposed to like have them when you're working out for like more than a certain period of time. And so at like the 20k mark on the bike, I like tried some, and I am not kidding you, I almost vomited. It was so gross. It was warm and it was just so thick. It like coated my entire mouth, and it was like lime flavor. Like the flavor itself wasn't bad, but it was the texture for me. I was like, I can't swallow this, but I did. So I had half a gel, and I didn't have enough water, so that's something in future I'll definitely fill up my water bottle with. Maybe even 2. I saw some people literally had like the back of their shirt had all these pockets, and they were all full of water. I was like, oh, okay. Because it is 30 degrees, like it's super hot. As well, Leo had to drive up yesterday, so 2 hours from where we live in Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast.
2.5 to Noosa.
2.5, yeah, to get to Noosa, to take my bike and rack my bike and check in, and then drive all the way home. And then today we had to do the same thing.
It took me 7 hours total.
Yeah, it took
literally.
literally.
I had to go check in and then repark, check in the bike, and then.
It literally took all day yesterday for him to rack our team bike.
I was there from 10 till 5:30.
I've never had a triathlon where you don't like just rock up the morning of and like check in early in the morning and like put your bike in and then just like get ready. And I sort of called in advance, and I was like, hey, like, are we not able to just bring the bike on the day? And they're like, no, you have to come up the day before. And I'm like, we live not at the Sunshine Coast. Like it's a 2.5 hour trip there and back, and then we have to do it the next day. Like, but yeah, so it was not very well executed. I think there are a lot of faults and flaws with how it was run, which is such a shame, because I heard that it's the largest triathlon in the entire world. So I'm just like, I expected greater things. We're gonna go home. I'm gonna have a shower. Let's get it. So we left the Sunshine Coast. We left the triathlon at like 1:30. We got back to Brisbane at 5 p.m. The traffic was insane. Bless Leo, he actually drove us, and I had a little nap, which was so good, so needed. We got a little ice cream on the way home and some KFC that is still upstairs. I'm like I don't have much of an appetite at the moment, but I know that I will. So I quickly just got home, showered, washed my hair, just popped up in a bun. I'm heading into uni, and I'm so glad that there's not much work to do, because I'm so looking forward to climbing on that couch and just snoozing. So this is my current experiment. It's a membrane suspension experiment with a serum gradient. So I've planted in my mesenchymal stromal cells from the human choroid that I've cultured. I've put them into this like hanging membrane that's suspended in these little wells. And I've got like serum on the top and serum on the bottom at different concentrations, and I'm doing different time points, and we're seeing what is effective at sort of inducing the cells to migrate through the filter, because there's like little pores in the filter, and sort of migrate through and create like a little bit of like a membrane of their own. So that's what we're doing. And we've got one more time point tomorrow, and then that will be that experiment done. I'm just fixing them each time point, so I just did one now, and then I will look at them and take some photos on the microscope tomorrow. I'm also going to check on my other experiment that I have going on at the same time, which is the same mesenchymal stromal cells, but we're feeding them with a bit of ascorbic acid, and I've got them on like a filter paper ring, and they're going to grow like an ECM, but they grow for like 60 days, and I only set it up on Friday, but I'm like really, I like haven't done anything like that before, so it's pretty cool. So ideally after the 60 days, the ascorbic acid sort of induces the cells to create a piece of tissue. Like you will be able to pick it up and look at it, and it's just like this collagen producing extracellular matrix that you can just stain and have a look at the expression, and it's just a fun time. So Leo is sleeping. I just got home and I'm gonna have my wrap, my chicken and lettuce wrap, and I'm gonna watch last week's episode of Handmaid's Tale. I'm obsessed. Also, I watched it on SBS. They're the best. They come out every single week and it's free. Good morning. I had such an amazing sleep. I think I slept from like 7:30 to 8:30, so more than 12 hours, which is not bad. My back is sunburned, which is interesting because I actually wore sunscreen. I wore 50 plus, but I don't know, Queensland sun is insane. So appreciate my incredibly messy apartment. But here's the kicker. Look at Leo's clothes that he, to be fair, we moved like a week ago, but like it's just all of his clothes that he has to put away. And it's stressing me out a little bit, so I'm just gonna not look at it. And usually I prefer working from home because I love my space and it's quiet and it's comfy, but I'm actually going to go into uni today just to do like desk work because I need to update my thesis quite a bit and do some reading. But I really don't like working at uni in general. I don't like Windows, and the keyboards there are like old school keyboards, and I have long nails, and so I'm literally like, it takes ages and it's really loud and it's not very comfy. Maybe I won't. I actually don't like it. I'm gonna go in because I have experiments to, this is the office, and I actually think that this is more comfortable for me today. So I might actually work from home. Yeah. I am gonna do vitamin C and moisturizer on my face, sunscreen, as always. Just boiled the jug, gonna make a coffee. I've actually gotten into the iced coffees lately, and I'm really looking into getting like you know how they have like syrups for coffee, like caramel or whatever. And when I was in the grocery store the other day, they didn't have any, so I might have to buy some online. I'm on my way to uni now, and I just went to make some toast, and the bread was moldy, so we have no food. So I should probably go to the grocery store, but I'm starving. And it's kind of like lunchtime. I don't know if I should go to Subway, but I'm peckish. So I've just come to Zambro to get a burrito because I just had a little cry, actually. I am low-key devastated that my 4-day experiment that I have been tending to every single day didn't work because it was my fault, because I wrongly used the wrong size pore of the filter membrane. So instead of using 8 microns, there were 2 microns, so I just had to throw them all away this morning. And I have to start again today. And it's just like, it's so humbling because this, like, the mistakes that I make are so ridiculously simple. It's like the matter of like just not reading the label properly or not double checking like the material that you're using, and then like just days and days of work is just completely useless. And like you just feel so stupid for like making such stupid mistakes. Like nothing that I have like done wrong is like trivial. It's just like I failed to check the label. And my PI, like, bless him, he was just like so sweet. He's just like, it's moments like these that like actually earn you your PhD. Like, they happen to everyone. And I'm just like, thank you, that's very nice, but I just feel like absolute garbage about myself. Like, anyway, so I have a burrito. That's gonna fix my problems. I'm gonna go back, do this experiment. I'm gonna go home, clean my apartment, and just read my book or do something else that brings me joy. So I had my burrito and I'm feeling better. I've just harvested some cells, I'm spinning them down, I'm going to repeat the membrane experiment in the correct membranes this time. I just called my mom and she made me feel better. She always does. So I'm probably gonna go around to her house for afternoon tea and just hang out with her. And everyone's been so nice to me. Like, if I were me and I was like, seriously, that was the mistake you made, like, gosh, what an idiot. That's how I feel right now. Like, I'm just like embarrassed and like frustrated with myself for just like not triple checking everything. My ascorbic acid experiment also had a fungus contamination. So I had to throw that away. Started that on Friday and redo that. So harvest some more cells, feed them in an ascorbic acid serum, and it's like a 60-day experiment. So I am kind of grateful that a contamination happened on like day 4 rather than like day 40. And like every care is being taken with my sterility technique, and I don't usually get outbreaks, so I just don't know why this is happening. I'm leaving now. I've been parked in my car park, which is a 2-hour car park, for longer than 2 hours. So if I get a parking ticket today, that would just be cherry on top of a less than ideal day. I don't have a ticket, so that's a bonus. That's a bonus for today. So I just got home from my mum's. I had to go and get some of my washing and Leo's washing and put some more in because our washing machine, our beautiful Bosch washing machine, has just completely broken for no reason. And Leo is trying to fix it, but he's just like constantly working. Like, I feel kind of bad at asking him to help me do stuff because he's always working. He's just so exhausted. But anyway, had a little snack, had some Doritos with my mum, and now I'm actually full because I ate way too many. But this is the situation with the apartment. It is a total mess. The plan is Leo's on his way home and we are going to try and build this today. So it's a table for the front entryway. And that's a little rug that I bought. So I want to put that out, put all of that away because I just so badly need a clean house. Like, living in a clean, non-cluttered space is something that like I really value and is really important for my mental health. So we're gonna get cracking on that. Let's get it. I tried to make mac and cheese. This is what happened. I'm such a chef. Such a chef. Little Leo is building the entry table and he's doing a great job. Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. I am so sorry I have not vlogged at all this morning. Basically, I got up, I was in a bit of a hurry, so I went to the gym. I'll insert a photo of the workout. It was pretty challenging. Kind of took it easy because my hamstring is still super interesting feeling from Sunday. I haven't pulled it or anything, but you know when there's like a pain and it's like, oh, I don't want to push it? It was like that. So it was still a really good workout, showered, got ready for clinic today. It is pouring rain here in Brisbane. I packed my lunch. I just did some like rice and tuna and avocado, cucumber, and like the soy sauce and Kewpie mayo. It's like my absolute go-to lately. And I've got some yogurt for breakfast, a Cliff Bar as a snack, and I just took some Oxy Shred and acetyl L-carnitine, and I'm ready for my morning coffee. I honestly am. I've got my Keep cup ready to go for when I get to clinic. Actually, to be honest, I'm probably gonna have to see the 8 o'clock patients and then get a coffee because I am pushing it today, pushing it for time. Oh, I need to sneeze. Got my coffee and I'm just looking at some Medscape articles and waiting on my next patient. It's actually Melbourne Cup Day today. So I'm wearing this cute little fascinator of my mum's And it's funny because like I don't really fuck with horse racing. Like I've never been to the horse races. I don't ride horses. Like it's not my thing. I don't really agree with it. But also the fashion I can get amongst. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just like a little bit fun, especially like the patients because they're really old. And we do show the race like in clinic, so that's kind of fun. So it is lunchtime. I've just brought some tuna and rice. It's really uneventful. I am not really able to film too much because there's people everywhere, patients and staff. So far it's been about 20 patients. I have 20 more this afternoon. It's a good mix actually. It's a good mix of injections, imaging, consults, new patients, review patients. We've got a good mix of like degenerative conditions and even some oncology, a case of probable choroidal melanoma, so melanoma at the back of the eye, which is so cool. But it's also stopped raining, I heard, which is fun. So it's 20 to 6. I finished work and got my nails done really quick. They did such a good job. Loving the short and the red. I was finding it like really annoying to type. I was so hungry because like I said, I had some tuna and rice for lunch and that was like 6 hours ago and I'm so hungry. And I worked out this morning and I didn't have any breakfast, so I was peckish. I went to McDonald's, I got 6 nuggies and a fries and like small fries, 6 nuggies. That's all. $10.50. I feel like I'm noticing inflation more and more. Anyway, I'm a very happy girl. I'm just munching away right now. I'm on my way to the lab. I have to do a time point for my experiment that I had to redo, set up yesterday. Today is the first time point, so we're gonna go and do that. I also thought I would share the most ridiculous thing that happened this afternoon. So basically, there's this thing where junior doctors or junior nurses or whatever will do a patient history, do the patient workup, take all of the information that they need, like past medical history, medications, allergies, the whole shebang. And then, so they say, oh, do you have any allergies, medications, like how's your general health? And they're like, I'm fit as a fiddle. I don't take anything. I'm super healthy. And then the superior, like the attending, the consultant, or like the charge nurse or whatever will come in and be like, so you're not taking anything, are you? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm taking this whole list of medications and I'm allergic to all these things. I had a heart transplant last year and I have terminal cancer. And then it looks like the junior like just is incompetent and didn't do their job well, but really the patient was the one who like, you know, just didn't inform them. So something like that literally happened to me this afternoon. I saw this patient who's been seen a whole bunch of times. I asked him, do you have any allergies, like any medications you're on? General health is good. I was like, you're not allergic to any contrast dyes, because I do fluorescein angiograms, which is where you inject some contrast dye, which is called fluorescein, which is a plant-based dye. It's like really well tolerated. It's different to iodine, but a similar sort of concept. We take photos of the back of the eyes, get a whole image of the fundus, of the retina, the back of the eye, and we have a look at the circulation of blood through the retina and like the perfusion of this dye through the retina to sort of diagnose eye disease. And this guy's like, yep, I'm fit as a fiddle, only have type 2 diabetes, which I manage with diet, like I'm not on any medication, like blah, blah, blah. I was like, sweet, let's get it. So even when I ask them, I always check their chart just to be safe. Quickly skimmed all of his referrals since he began seeing us like 5 years ago, whatever. Fit as a fiddle. Right, very routine. Doctor comes in as he's injected the dye. I'm about to start the image sequencing. He goes, oh, just thought I'd mention I don't have kidneys. Doctor and I look at each other. Doctor says, what do you mean? You don't have kidneys? They're not functioning well, or you've got kidney disease? And he said, no, kidneys, the 2 of them, bladder, prostate, don't have them anymore. They were surgically removed. I'm on dialysis 5 times a week. Can't eliminate waste from my blood. There's no filtering system for my blood. So we just injected contrast dye into your system. How do you think that's going to be filtered out of your blood? Do you think you should have maybe not mentioned that before? Also, concerning that it wasn't mentioned ever. Like, he has never mentioned, and he's seen us like at least 10 times, and not a single referral from his optometrist or his GP mentioned this. And so doctor's like, sort of like, oh, interesting. But it didn't seem to be a big deal. I don't know if you'll just need to get dialysis sooner or what, but just take home message. Always know what medications you're on, what things you've been diagnosed with, and tell that to everybody. Tell it to everybody. Tell it to your dentist. Tell it to your podiatrist. Tell it to your ophthalmology team. Tell it to everyone. You never know what can be relevant. So many people don't know things like high blood pressure or diabetes are relevant to the eye, and they are one of the most common things that we see, like diabetic retinopathy and things like that. So just, it's really important to be aware of what your medical situation is, and so when people ask, you can be informed. And you know, sometimes people will be like, yeah, no allergies, and they know that they're allergic to something, and they'll be given it and then they have a reaction, and it's like, well, you know. Anyway, so that happened, but he's fine, so that's great. Anyway, I'm gonna have my nuggies on the way to uni, and I think we're going out for dinner tonight. I'm hoping so, because I don't want to cook. I just finished up in the lab. I didn't film because my PI, my professor, was actually in there, and all I ended up doing was throwing away a cell culture because, surprise, surprise, it too has a fungus infestation. So it's now gone across 3 experiments, which is really lame. But the only thing it has in common is the cell line. So it's unlikely my technique, because I've been doing this for 3 years and haven't had any problems. And I've, you know, eliminated all the other possible factors. So things like contaminated media, contaminated, you know, tools, and making sure everything is sterile and autoclaved. And the only thing that seems to be consistent is the cells themselves. So my membrane time point experiment, which I just had to redo for the second time yesterday, seems to have fungus in it, which is a massive buzzkill. So, and not only is it my membrane experiment that I had to redo, it's also my ascorbic acid experiment that I have to redo, which is a 60-day experiment. And I'm not even going to take chances on like waiting until a fungus arises, because it's almost certain that it's within the cell line. So it's just a matter of time. And I do have things in the cell media. So I have pen strep and I have anti-anti. So I have antibiotics, I have antivirals, I have all of that sort of prophylactic stuff in the media to try and fight any infection that does arise. But we don't have anything for fungus. So that makes sense that there's a fungus outbreak. So I'm actually going to keep going with this time point experiment in the hopes that they're not all contaminated with fungus. They probably are. But I've just really got nothing to lose at this point. So... And then on Friday, I'm going to stain those cultures so we can actually get a better look at the membrane, see if any cells have migrated through the membrane. The fungus won't migrate because it's so large. And as for the ascorbic acid, which is the 60-day experiment, I'm going to redo that for the 3rd time, lucky, on Friday with a fresh cell line. So fingers crossed, this is my final contamination. Fingers crossed, because I'm sick of it. I'm over it. The number of hours that I have put in to these experiments, and just to have them have to be thrown away, is, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty like devastating. Like, it's like you just feel dumb and incompetent, and but it happens. Anyway, it's like 7 p.m. I've got a dinner reservation at 7:30. I need to get my little butt home, put a cute dress on, go pick up my friend Mon, and go and eat some spaghetti. This is the dinner the fit. I just showered super quick, redid my bun, put on some retinol because it's dark outside, and just got my shirt, my matching Louis slides. Just wobble round. That is going to wrap up this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.